Welcome to a Fresh Perspective podcast, catering to the latest in ingredient trends, consumer insights, and food news. Brought to you by Corbion.
Hi, welcome to Fresh Perspective, a podcast that's all about food. I am CJ.
And I'm Jenny.
And today we're actually running into our last couple episodes of this season, which is crazy. We've been doing this for almost a year now.
I can't even believe it.
I don't know if it feels like it's been 10 years or 2 minutes, but
2020, that'll do it to you. Yeah.
So today we're just kind of going to take this moment to reflect back on the year and everything that happened and all of the fun stuff that changed throughout the year, and then take a look forward and see kind of what we're seeing in 2021 and what we can expect and what that looks like.
I love the fact that we can project and see, talk already about what's going to happen in 2021 when it comes to bakery trends. I mean, how fun is that?
It's awesome. But as part of this, I was looking up some of just Yelp does the top foods of the year and what people were eating. And I consumed a lot of these, so I was going to see if you consumed any of these as well. One of the top things they said for the year was hard seltzers, which I think everyone had to see these and those shenanigans. But Japanese fried chicken, I don't even know what that is.
Is Japanese fried chicken just with panko crumbs instead of flour dredged? Because I make fried chicken. As we've talked before, I'm a Southern cook. I kick everything off with a stick of butter. It's pretty good. but my fried chicken is dredged in flour and egg, and then seasoned flour, and then deep fried. I wonder if the Japanese fried chicken, they use panko, because aren't panko crumbs? Aren't those the Japanese breadcrumbs?
I'm Googling it as we speak.
Yeah, because if not, we're going to have to start
Japanese
recording.
Fried chicken is.
One other thing about the seltzers, did you find the best ones? Because it was kind of like a treasure hunt this year. There's, everybody had a hard seltzer this year. Everybody came out with one, every brand. The very best seltzer is the Truly lemonade version.
Those are my favorite.
The cans are black.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
those
perfect
for pool season.
Are perfect for pool season. Not that we got to go to the pool this year. Because,
true.
2020, I think some people went to the pool, but honestly.
Ours opened, you just had to book spots.
Oh.
Yeah.
If somebody walked into your spot, could you kick them into the pool? Because that sounds like a little bit of fun.
I didn't experience that, so I don't know. But a few other really popular things this year were Detroit-style pizza, which I've never had either. Hot honey, which I love. And seafood boils with gratitude. Gratitude was up this year, so says Yelp.
Okay, good to know.
I'm here for that. But
yeah, for sure. We do a seafood boil every single year at my dad's lake house on 4th of July. So we do the king crab legs that are this big, and I say I just sit by the lake while
eat.
Stepmom makes it, and then I eat it. Really good.
Fun story. And then we'll get back into the trends, which everyone's here.
Oh, right. Okay.
Hear about, but we sometimes do seafood boils, and when I was a kid, you dump it all out on the newspaper or whatever it is, and my grandma would eat the crawdads and then pull them off and put them on her fingers and chase me around with the little crawdads on her fingers.
Were you scared?
So terrified, and I still don't like crawdads, or however anybody else, whatever you call them, but horrified me, still scared to this day. She also told me avocados ran around in tribes, and that to get across the room, they would kick off their little Nikes from their feet and stick their feet in electrical sockets and shoot across the room.
What? Okay, can we not have your grandma on the podcast? Because I need to hear more of these stories.
My life was built on lies. Lies and fairy tales.
My grandma thought macaroni and cheese was a vegetable.
Oh.
This was legit.
I'm here for that.
We're going to have hamburgers and vegetables. Macaroni and cheese was the side. She told us things
on carbs.
Yeah, exactly. And, for her, if it was a side dish, it was a vegetable. But I never heard about the avocado. That's really a creative story about avocados flinging themselves across the room.
She had a full arrangement of stories that I'll have to divulge to you at some point over a bottle of wine. But
I love it. Okay.
Today,
all right. So who are we talking to today?
Yes. Today we have JoAnn Rupp, who leads market insights for our bakery team and our bakery industry here at Corbion. Hi, JoAnn.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Welcome back to the podcast.
I'm good.
We're so happy to
Good.
see you again.
You were our very
Yeah.
first guest, and it only makes sense to wrap the year, come full circle, and to wrap up the year with you.
Agreed.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like we just did it, doesn't it, in certain aspects? But
It
then
does.
so much has changed.
Exactly, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to, pump your brain for all of that fantastic information that you provided us at the beginning of the year, and then discuss a little bit. Right, go back to March.
Breathe in.
It's been the longest year ever, in our brains. So
feels like many different generations.
Yeah, truly. I mean, I'll be impressed with the things that you do remember, because I barely remember them.
Right. So if we look back at 2020 and how it started, what were some of the trends that we had anticipated dominating 2020? And maybe we'll just start there, and then kind of how did those flip as the year went?
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest one for me that just pops out is everybody was moving a mile a minute. Globalization was so strong around the world. People are traveling and on the go. That's what it was all about. And now, I mean, no one would have ever predicted what has occurred. And so the trends of moving into the cities and things of that nature is just come to a full halt. It changes the way you shop, and changes what you buy and where you go to get what you want. And it's changed a lot of people's lifestyles and personalization. So I think that's one of the biggest ones.
Are we still seeing some of the clean label trends that we had at the beginning of the year that we were talking about? Are those still prevalent in driving the bakery category, or does that look a little different?
Yeah,
now?
when you're thinking about the bakery category, it was, in fact, people were looking for healthier options, maybe plant-based products. So they would shop the perimeter of the store far more and get their fresh bakery items there, because they could actually visualize where it came from, and that maybe the baker behind the scenes had just baked their cake or their fresh breads. And so that has kind of really stopped and slowed down tremendously. So people are at the center of the store, and they are buying more packaged items for security and safety and freshness, maybe buying in bulk and larger quantities versus the smaller on-the-go items, because they were, always out and about. So I think those trends are the very big difference this year. So
yeah, I think the freshness, that lasting longer part is really important. Typically in my life with my children, I don't care. I mean, if the bread is the best bread, then that's what we're going to buy, and we'll eat it in the next 3 days. But that's absolutely not the case this year. So it makes sense. We shop in the middle of the store because the bread and the other bakery items there will last longer because they're packaged in a different way. And,
and if you're going to the store every 3 weeks instead of every week, I mean, it's important that it lasts.
Yeah.
That extra
absolutely.
time and stays good in your pantry.
And then with clean label specifically, it's generally in reference to organic and no additives, preservatives, and things like that. And so really, it's more focused now on making sure that the products are real and understanding where they come from, that they're ethically packaged, ethically, manufactured and presented. So that clean label didn't really go away. It's just kind of showing up in a different way, more around trust and transparency, more so than even before the pandemic.
And I know one of the things that you mentioned previously was around this clean label evolution, or kind of the way clean label has shifted, is also around kind of this food for functional foods, or an increase on immunity or the focus on what the food is actually doing for you,
Yeah.
and how it's providing nutrients or is better for your health. Do you think we'll see that continue to be part of that change and that shift in clean label, or do you think it's just part of COVID and once that fades?
It's a very big play, and actually all of the categories are actually growing, except maybe celebration type items in the bakery. But your baked goods, your whole foods, whole grains, sprouted grains, anything that's got health and wellness kind of wrapped around it, so that they can actually have better for you benefits, such as vitamin efficiency, perhaps, that may be interpreted as being better for them and better for their health, and capturing that fiber and that protein for longevity and overall immunity in general. So I think that consumers really look at the bakery category more so now as a benefit than they did as just a wrap for a sandwich, if you will. So I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
It does. CJ, do you remember we had another guest on that talked about the differences in the types of grains?
yes.
And it was like sprouted grains and the benefits between a sprouted and an unsprouted and the differences. I mean, that kind of stuff is really eye-opening for someone like me who never noticed or cared before. But I want to give my family the best chance, if we get sick. So learning about those kinds of trends and things, and then buying sprouted bread for the first time ever this year. And I found it kind of delicious.
Yeah, I was going to say it adds so much more than just that nutrient dense portion that we're talking about. But I mean, it adds color, it adds flavor, it adds texture, it can add
sometimes
crunch.
crunch.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
it brings kind of a whole nother aspect to the bread that you're eating. It's not just your normal old bread anymore.
Yeah, and it also signals that whole freshness. They see the items that they could possibly find in their pantry or in their garden, for example. So fruit inclusions, and like I mentioned, the seeds or things like that. I think that really does call out better for you, and it calls out healthier living, and maybe even a little bit of immunity when you are eating healthier.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I love this topic because we've all lived through it now and are living it every day. And I know we have a lot more. I mean, we've only asked like one question, really.
Yeah, but we get to look back on it now because it's the end of the year. It's like, oh, we did that.
We did it.
I mean, how exciting is that?
It could keep going. Who knows?
Yeah,
for sure.
But now we're going to hop into our favorite segment, Eat, Save, Give.
Now it's time for Eat, Save, Give, a thoughtful peek into the hearts, minds, and taste palates of our guests.
So just as a reminder, I know now it's been like 9 months since you did this the last time, so this could be all brand new for you. But we are going to give you 3 different food items, and you are going to have to decide which one are you going to eat now, which one are you going to save for later, and which one are you going to give away. And I think I remember the first one, actually, because there was granola bar involved in yours, and you were going to give it to Callie because she had to go to dance practice. But I don't know why that's what I remember out of that one.
Good memory. Wow.
Right? So today we've got just some good old holiday favorites. Last time we did like holiday favorite baked goods or dessert items. This time we're going like traditional home cooking favorites. So today we've got mac and cheese, which we were just talking about. Mac and cheese is everything. It's a vegetable.
And a vegetable.
Yes. Mashed potatoes, your choice, gravy, no gravy, butter, garlic, and a holiday turkey. All of it, all of the above. Which one are you going to have?
So I'm going to pick one of those 3. Is that what you're saying?
That you have to pick one that you're going to eat, one that you're going to give away, and one you're going to save for later.
Got it. Okay. I'm going to eat, and I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to eat the turkey. I really like turkey. I like
good reason to eat it.
I'm a meat eater. I am not a big fan of mac and cheese. I'll eat it, but it's just really heavy for me. So I'm going to give that away to my daughter because she likes mac and cheese. And what was the other one? I'm going to give away. I'm going to
Mashed potatoes. You're going to save
save
these?
for later. I'm going to save the mashed potatoes for later, but not too late because it's so heavy. And so I'm going to make it more of a mid-evening type thing to go with my turkey.
I
Put you to sleep.
I so thought I knew you, and now I just feel like I don't even know who you are.
Oh my God. That was interesting. But there was no bread or baked good in that whole thing, so I was really struggling.
Surprise.
JoAnn's like, that's why I work here.
bread.
I was prepared to. Well, I mean, last time we did, I think, rolls and baked goods, so we had to.
Okay. All
Jenny,
right.
what are you going to do?
Okay, so mac and cheese is like a daily thing that happens at my house. It's nothing special. My children make 2 or 3 boxes a day. It's insane. So that is a total give for me. Like, take it away. I mean, I like it, but not every day. I'm going to eat the mashed potatoes with gravy and butter and garlic and really anything you want to put on them because mashed potatoes are the best in the world.
It's true.
And then I'll save turkey because I like to make other things with turkey, like turkey tetrazzini or a turkey sandwich. So I'm going to save that and reuse it in another way because just a big hunk of turkey right off of the carcass is not my thing.
Carcass.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then mashed potatoes as a save, so I should change mine.
You can, because we haven't laminated your choices yet.
Okay, well, good.
We're going to hang out in the office, so just so you know. I'm somewhere in the realm. No, I'm different than both of you. Actually, I was going to try and make it sound like I was in alignment with one of you, but I'm not. I'm going to eat the mac and cheese. I don't even care if it's like the box of Kraft mac and cheese that is not even real, or if it's the bougie mac and cheese from wherever. I love it, and I will eat it, and I will put buffalo mac on it or make chili mac. I don't know. I'll figure any way to use this macaroni. I'm going to save the mashed potatoes for later. I could eat mashed potatoes anytime. And really for me, they're like, let me swing by the fridge and take a bite of this. I love cold food. So it's weird. Turkey, turkey by itself, I'm going to pass on it almost in every instance. But when you start to combine it with things like you said, turkey tetrazzini, and I was like, oh, maybe I want to rethink it. But
yeah,
I can give you some recipes.
Yes, like if I'm going to make something with it, then I'm okay with turkey. But overarchingly, like I'm not just going to grab a hunk of turkey and be like, this is tasty. So,
yeah, I mean, and it's
like
it's on a bony
thing.
carcass. I don't like things on bones.
I echo this. I don't like things that are hard to eat. Like if I have to like work to cut it and
right.
I'm showing like my inability to function as an adult, but like pork chops, I'm like, that's a lot for me.
No, or a rib. I mean, I still am like a child. Like I need somebody to shred the rib meat off of the rib for me because it's like a hunk of the bone of the animal. Gross.
But you take all that off and then put it on like a rib or like brisket sandwich, and then I'm in. Like,
right, that's what I'm saying. I just need people to debone all of my meats.
Exactly. Here we are,
like
2020, guys.
Yeah.
Well, we are joined by JoAnn Rupp, who leads our insights team for bakery at Corbion and functional systems. And we were just talking about 2020, kind of looking back at the year and how it changed and everything that happened and what we did throughout the time. And so I know we talked about a couple of the trends, and we're just going to hop right back in. Was there anything that surprised you in the shifts? So I know like the pandemic overall just surprised everybody. We were like, this is going to last a week. And then 9 months later, we're like, oh, this is life now. But was there anything that it spurred that really like caught you off guard when we were looking at all the numbers? And
I think I said this before in a meeting or a conversation before, but the e-commerce and the digital ways of ordering food or getting your groceries and your click and collect was definitely a hot trend, and it's been developing over the years. And then I knew that the shelves would be empty. We might have to switch brands, or we may run out of certain things. But I certainly didn't anticipate that my dad, who is 75 years old, would be using his mobile iPhone that he never had before and ordering his groceries on his app and then going to Hy-Vee and picking them up. And he prouds himself about it. He talks about it and how convenient it is, and he's so surprised, and that really blew me away. So I think that's very common for a lot of people. Shopping in new avenues and just channel shifting in general has definitely been the biggest impact. Some of it's expected, but some of those things like that are just huge.
This is what leads me to believe that every time somebody in my family says, I don't know how to text, like I can't figure out my phone. I'm like, you figured it out. You ordered your groceries online, so you can figure out how to use
You Zoomed
FaceTime.
with us and had a happy hour call.
Exactly.
Clearly, we've got it all figured out now.
So that is one of the biggest things I think that I noticed was just how much it expedited kind of innovation across the board, not specific to bakery, but just overarchingly, it forced people across the board to start coming up with new ways to communicate, to get their baked goods into people's hands, to get their foods into people's hands, to order the groceries, to all of it. And I think that's...
the researching. I think people research more. They get online, they check it out. They have new recipes. People are sharing more on social media about what they've cooked, asking, I need some new ideas because I'm tired of making the same thing over and over and over. And I don't know about you, but a lot of my friends have been sharing recipes and cooking items and things that they use to cook, like the Ninja Foodie, for example, has changed my life. And it's like, I think after this all goes away and we start moving about quicker and everything else, there's going to be all these new things that we never would have probably done if it wasn't for having to stay inside.
Yeah, it's like we were all kicked out of our comfort zone a little bit, right? You know, I'm used to, I do Aldi every week, Costco once a month. That's been my norm since I had children, right? But now, I mean, that's all completely different. I mean, we only order when we need stuff, and it's from wherever we can get it, you know. It really does change kind of some things, and I found out some other things, right? Like I prefer specific brands from specific grocery stores that they don't have at Aldi, but I would never have tried them before because I was always walking in my same shoes, going to all my same places. And so, you know, you figure things out, and I think it's been a little bit fun. And I think, JoAnn, to your point, it's been fun seeing my parents and my grandparents like finally
figure out everything.
Okay, I got to figure out this technology, even though I've been against it for years and I've been carrying a flip phone. And boom,
guys,
here we all are.
This could video us together. I could see your face.
It's so crazy. So anyway, I think that's been like, at least if we have to look on the bright side, like that's been kind of a fun thing to see.
There are a couple bright side things that I've tried to list and think about because I'm always find the silver lining. And so there are a few things that I've really enjoyed. I think it didn't force. Everyone got more sustainable in it. Like restaurants, you scan the menu now and they're not printing out all the menus all the time. You just pull it up on your phone. I think it did kind of force exploration of brands because in your head, even I know that the brands aren't the same, but it's still in my head when I'm shopping. I'm like, oh, they probably all taste relatively the same. And then I had to switch from like my usual bread to a different bread one time. And I was like, this is not right. This is not how my sandwich is supposed to be. And so I liked the, I guess, opportunity to explore new products.
Yeah, it's sad as it is with the food service industry and restaurants. I know it's a struggle. Some of it's down up to even 40% in many channels within food service. But I know that in some aspects, some of these restaurants really had to force themselves to figure out this whole digital online thing. They had to figure out whether they could how they could dine outdoors or keep the doors open longer, or just actually even hiring and keeping
the work staff
that
isn't sick, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So they had to figure out things that they probably would not have had to do beforehand. But so hopefully some of our favorite restaurants still can hang on just a little bit longer so that we can get this all past this pandemic and that. But the ease of ordering food and have it delivered is not just pizza and Chinese anymore. It's
everything you ever wanted.
DoorDash.
And I love it.
So here's the exciting thing. This episode is we're running out of time, right? But the next
so
episode
fast.
we get to talk about with JoAnn what's coming.
So
And I'm really excited about that.
This is a to be continued moment to draw suspense and make you come back.
Yeah.
So you have to come back next week and hear about 2021 and what we're seeing moving forward. But
excited.
now,
Lots of exciting things to come.
yes, we want to say thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to talking to you in the next episode about what's to come. And if you guys are looking for more information on what happened in 2020, what were the trends at the beginning of the year, how has that shifted, if you just want to learn more about baking and find some recipes and fun videos, you can head on over to the Baker's Take and find all of that information and more, or you can like and subscribe to our podcast and to the YouTube channel.
Don't forget, keep creating.